guys? Anthony here with Empire Music, empiremusic.com, showing you the brand new Fender Mike Kerr signature Jaguar bass. Mike Kerr of the band Royal Blood, dynamic duo, love that band, iconic riffs, very secretive how he gets his tone, so we're not even gonna try to attempt that. When I was doing it the intro there though, I did have the bass wide open, both pickups, a little bit of tone rolled off, and I was using the Earthquaker Devices Westwood and their brand new reverb pedal ledges, which was kind of how I got that tone, which again, would never even try to attempt to get the sounds that Mike Kerr can achieve, just like wall of sound out of one man. It's pretty crazy. And the bass is pretty crazy too. It's great. It's really, really cool, comfortable. So it's short scale. So that's 30 inches from the bridge up to the nut here. It's got a modern C neck on it, slab rosewood fretboard. That's a nice feature at something at this price point. You don't see slab rosewood much. I mean, even when we get into custom shop stuff, we don't see slab rosewood very often, although we do. But it's nice to see it at something down here at this tier. It's in his tiger blood finish, so cool orange. It's got the highlight with the gold hardware on that. I think the biggest feature that everyone kind of wants to know about, aesthetics are cool, playability is cool. Obviously playability is very important, but sonic characteristics out of this are pretty unique, because what we have going on here is the wide range humbucker here in the neck position, although kind of far back, and a mini humbucker here in the bridge. So it's loud. It's funny, it kind of like fits the bill perfectly, because Royal Blood, you see two people on stage, you're like, how much sound can they produce? You see this smallish, kind of diminutive bass, but it produces a ton of sound. When it first came in yesterday, I was playing, I forget what bass I was playing, it was a custom shop something. And I was just kind of messing around with it, doing an Instagram video for us. And then Matt Schultz, our Fender rep, shout out to Matt, thank you for getting us this, brought this in, and like I plugged it in and it had the same settings on the amp. I'm just like, oh, I did not expect it to be as loud as it is, which is really kind of cool for this. You can tame it. I mean, I say that and people are probably thinking, oh my God, it's too loud. No, you can always tame it back with the volume knob. And depending on how you play too, I'm relatively heavy-handed, so it's easy for me to kind of hit something with too much juice. So let's walk through some of the tones. So what I'm gonna take the effects off for right now. So we're gonna go wide open on the bass, full tone, full volume. So mini hum and the wide range humbucker in there. We're just gonna play the same stuff. My repertoire is very small for these videos, so it's gonna be some of the same riffs I always play. Maybe I'll try and vary it up, we'll see. Actually, I'll stick to kind of the theme I had at the beginning. Right, so super simple thing there, but it kind of demonstrates the middle ground tone of a bass like this. Anytime we're into the short scale stuff, especially with round wound strings on it, no matter what the pickups are on there, you're gonna get that snappiness at the top end, I think, at least with my touch. Right, that's always present there. Very articulate on the top end, I've always noticed that. Even if we roll tone way back, we'll go back to say 50%. Right now we can put heavier strings on there, we can put flat wound strings on there to kind of alleviate some of that top end, but you might like some of that top end if you're a pick player. It's nice having that. And some of the lead style lines that Mike Kerr plays, that fits perfectly in there. So we go front pickup. Now this is where gain jumps substantially, just to kind of compare here with both pickups. It's full tone, we'll roll some tone back. Now check out the gain jump, I'm not touching anything on the amp. cool tone on that. Cuts right through a mix. Tons of like tons of mid-range, upper and lower, tons of low end out of that too, this wide range humbucker. Not a whole lot of top end articulation on something like that. In fact, it'd probably be a really good palm muting thing. So good, really, really high gain out of that wide range humbucker. Now back to the bridge. A lot of mid-range comes off of this thing. Very jazz bassy, very jazz bass bridge pickup thing. Not a whole ton of like fundamental and presence, but you get a lot of that upper mid-range thing. Harmonics will ring. And not to get into a debate as to like which tone's right or wrong, that's a tone for me and my personal preference. I don't use a whole ton unless I'm kind of doing more chordal work, or like even if I'm taking a solo, which is far and few between on the gigs that I have, I just don't use that in any bass, that bridge pickup tone a ton. I would be more prone myself to using this front pickup. There's a wooliness and there's almost like there's a dirtiness to that pickup that I really, really like. Or if I wanted something a little brighter, I would just go both pickups wide open. Which is funny, that's a tone that I'm discovering is super useful. It's not always my favorite on its own. So like if I was just playing this bass, I would always gravitate towards that neck pickup. And not as much this. But the more I gig with tones like that out of any bass, this would be a perfect example of it, I love the way that tone ends up sitting in the mix. So kind of an aside, as I'm showing you this bass, there's also somewhat of a like personal lesson that I learned with that, is that what isn't always your favorite tone or the thing that you think is gonna be perfect in the mix, oftentimes depending on the other musicians that you're playing with, that ulterior tone might be perfect. So just kind of have an open mind about that type of stuff. I've really kind of grown to love that tone, especially when I start getting into palm muting with the pick. Very, very cool. This bass sounds great in that thing. And then two with a thumb. And then down on the front pickup. Very barky, very, that's gonna sit underneath the mix very well, very supportive, and this will give you a little bit more cut and clarity with both pickups wide open. But obviously there's a gain jump too on that front pickup. Very cool. So a ton of useful tones out of it, and we'll see what we did at the intro there with the distortion on it. Overdrive, this is the Earthquaker Devices Westwood. And check the front pickup out with just that too. We'll try bridge. Pick might work well for that. And that's almost like guitar-like, especially when we put on that that overdrive. That might be cool with some reverb. Turned on. While I'm sure this isn't going to be a great camera angle, my bald head, flip that up a little bit there. So, this is the Mike Kerr Jaguar bass signature from Fender. Very, very cool pickup selection on that. While not quite the tonal spectrum that you would get out of a PJ, and certainly a very, especially in that front position, a high gain bass. You can do a lot of versatile things with it too, and it is easy to play. So check it out. If you got any questions, shoot me an email. It's anthony@empiremusic.com. Phone number at the shop is 412-343-5299. Please reach out if you need anything, like I said, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.